I added the crappy ghast, time travel, and the ended dragon to Minecraft. Start by killing the enlightened one, and the enlightened one will drop something special. The final theory. If you want to know how to summon the enlightened one, check out this video. But now there's some other items we need. Use the scalpel to retrieve your own meat, and eat it to get the regretful effect. Eat another one, and you'll poop. And with 4 of these poops, make a poop block. Now you're gonna need to kill some ghasts for their tears. And now with your poop block and 8 ghast tears, you can make the crappy ghast spawn egg. Right-click to summon it, and you have a crappy ghast. It's a passive mob that repeatedly craps on the ground, which makes it one of the best renewable sources of poop. But keeping him alive isn't the only thing you can do with him. You can kill him, and you get an infected ghast tear. This is one of the most important resources in this new update, and in progression in general. Yes, this is required to complete the mod. With an infected ghast tear and an eye, you can make a sickly crystal. And remember, you get eyes from harvesting hobos' organs. See, I just got one. 7 glass, an eye, and an infected ghast tear. Now the sickly crystal is an interesting item. Right-clicking with it gives all mobs levitation in a nearby area. So you can do this. So it shakes up crystal PvP a little bit, but you might be thinking, it's a little unfair how there's no way to prevent this. I mean, if you get the levitation, it's pretty much an instant death. Well, don't worry, I thought of that. With 1 golden ring and 4 tungsten, you get the gravitational stabilization ring. And whenever this ring is in your inventory, it will prevent the levitation effect, although it slowly deteriorates durability. But these sickly crystals are used to make something special. Go look underground for a palladium geode. Now a lot more common than previously. And there's 2 ways to get into these things. We all know the acid spewer will do it, but thanks to these last updates, the mahogany tree is actually strong enough to get inside. And now you can mine all the palladium. You also need a drone controller. So the time machine is now a post-alien invasion reward. And since there's a boss linked to the time machine, there's actually a new final goal to the mod. There's something to fight after the alien invasion. Anyway, take your dimensional shard, drone controller, 2 sickly crystals, 4 palladium, and the final theory, and you can make the time machine. The time machine got overhauled in this update. It's basically a completely different block. When you place the time machine down, you'll realize it looks a lot different from when we left it. There's 4 options now. You can go to the far past, the present, and the future. But doing that requires different energy levels. So we have to power this thing now. There's a few options for power, like solar panels, generators, and maybe even a homunculus in a box. But if you're like me and can cheat, then use an overpowered solar panel. The overpowered solar panel is a creative mode only item that gives 100 energy per tick instead of 1 energy per tick like the regular panel. Now that we have plenty of energy, there's a lot of areas we can go to. Let's start with the far past. Just click on it, and you'll see we're sent to the far past. Now when you travel between time periods, you're given a time machine to leave, but it's not going to have energy, so make sure you bring solar panels or generators or some way to have energy here. Or else you might get stranded. Now you notice there isn't a lot here. This is an intentionally barren dimension, but one of the good things about the far past is there is so much iron ore, like there's a crazy amount of iron ore. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. If you want iron, this is the dimension you should go to. This is also a good spot to find holy blocks. This terrain is just very clear, so it's a good area to find them. During the nighttime, first of all, the sky at night looks really cool. You'll see rock golems start to spawn. Rock golems are the only thing that spawn here, because remember, this is a land before meat. When you kill them, they drop random ores. You can get redstone, copper, diamonds, evil stone, you name it. But yeah, let's get out of here. Now let's visit the future. The future is the final time period. The past is kind of a bonus one that's really expensive to get to. But the future is the last one in terms of progression. Let's go. Now, you notice when you spawn in, you'll be falling. So make sure you bring something to break your fall. You'll see there's a weird thing in the sky. We'll get to that later. Now, notice what the ground under you is made out of. Break it. It's chromium oxide. Because we all know everything in the future is made out of chrome. This chromium oxide will be relevant in a future update, but for now, hold on to it. It's going to be used for some late game gear, like a late game, like really late game. Now, the future generates similar to the End Islands. In fact, this is kind of like a remixed End Dimension. You'll see we spawn on the giant central island, and then 1,000 blocks away, there's a ring of outer islands around it. But anyhow, it's time we address this thing in the middle. Hopefully you brought blocks to pillar up with. Now, this is the Nexus of Autism. And you'll see inside the Nexus, there's signs on this metal box warning you not to open it. Now, the reason you shouldn't open this is because it will release the last boss in the mod, or at least the last boss right now. I recommend bringing pretty good gear to the fight, especially good armor, especially good weapons. Since this is post-alien invasion, I would definitely recommend bringing technology armor, as it's the best in the mod. And you should also get a good sword if you can help it. The Moronic Decimator is a great candidate. It does 20 attack damage. Also, bringing a Chunk Eruptor is a good choice because it just does a lot of damage. It's a shotgun. But yeah, it's time to get prepared for the fight. Remember that tech armor lets you shoot lasers, as long as you're sneaking with an empty hand. But now it's time to summon the boss, and be careful because breaking this will destroy the entire Nexus of Autism. So do it from kind of far away. But now it's time to release this boss. The Ended Dragon. Let me take off my helmet because it gives 40 vision, which makes the dragon weird looking. The Ended Dragon. Now you can make up whatever lore implications you want, but pretty much this dragon doesn't have wings, so it can't fly, but it does have pretty strong legs, so it will run fast, and this giant incision in the bottom of it will let it shoot out embryos that will explode on you. So now it's time to try and kill it. There it is, already shooting at me. Should be pretty easy as long as you have good weapons. This armor is really good. This boss is quite the armor destroyer, though. Also, to make matters worse, I'm gonna buff this a lot more, so just be ready. And yeah, if you think you can get around this without a ranged weapon, you're mistaken. You definitely need one. These lasers are so getting nerfed. Yeah, let's go up and get him. Let's get a melee since he's so low. We killed him. The Ended Dragon is dead. Now, the Ended Dragon is going to drop something that's going to be relevant in the next update. Yeah, that's how I keep you guys watching. Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe. Oh, wait a second. I forgot something. We have to go back to the present real quick, because now it's time to go to the past. The only problem, though, is getting to the past requires 1 million Forge energy. It is very pricey in survival mode. But yeah, I guess I'll sit here in AFK for a while until this is charged up. We hit 1 million. It's time to go. And here we are. Oh, boy. It doesn't exactly look like the overworld, does it? That's because the overworld was not meant to be accessed at all in this mod. So you can see most of the biomes in the wheat dimension spawn, as well as all the foliage and some biomes that normally don't spawn at all, because I was testing them. Definitely a weird sight. Every single stage of crop spawns regularly. Yeah, there isn't that much of a point to get here. Oh yeah, you can see there's a palladium geode over here that spawned on the surface somehow. I think it's because it's under a mountain. That's actually really cool. But yeah, the overworld doesn't really have anything new in it. It's just a place you can go to if you want. And I'm still not even sure if I'm going to keep it in the mod or if I'm going to nerf it, because I kind of like the whole mod being contained in its own dimensions. Yeah, let me know what you think if I should keep this in the game or not. I added boogers to Minecraft. Start by putting 1 paper in a crafting table to get 2 tissues. And then if you right click while holding a tissue, you get a used tissue. And if you put a used tissue in a crafting grid, you get a booger. And then you can reuse these tissues again. You can also find boogers underground as an ore if you want an alternative way to get these. With 9 boogers, you can make a booger blob. And now if we want to go any further with the booger blob, we're going to need some more materials. Some pretty late game ones, in fact. We need diamonds, palladium, and tungsten. And then we can make some booger ingots. Now, I don't know if it's clear, but this entire update is a parody on the Gobber mod. Which, fun fact, was the first Minecraft mod I ever played. But yeah, with 4 booger ingots, we can make a booger ring. And there's quite a bit we can do with this booger ring. Now, if you want to make any of the rings, you're going to need 4 poop blocks and a paper to make the poop infused specialized tool bench created to make early game more fun. Although, we're not going to be using this in early game because all these recipes are pretty expensive and require late game materials. So consider all the booger stuff mid to late game. But yeah, firstly, with a booger ring, 2 sickly crystals, and 2 sodium ingots, you can make the Ring of Height. And now what the Ring of Height does is pretty simple. Right click with it, and it teleports you to the world height. It's extremely good for getting height with the elytra. You'll never need fireworks again. Although you do need to build up speed again every time. It can also be nice if you want to hide a secret base in the sky. Next on our list is 1 booger ring, 3 blaze powder, and an unfamiliar metal. Hit craft and you get the Ring of Aggression. And the Ring of Aggression is a pretty simple one also. Whenever it's in your inventory, you get constant strength 5, but whenever you hit a mob, you have a small chance to teleport them, kind of like Chorus Fruit. You can see one of them just got teleported there. So it's recommended to use this against weak mobs who have low health and can die in 1 hit, or also teleport and they might get the drop on you. So it's kind of a cool ring with some strategy. Well, we can rectify that with a booger ring and 4 booger blobs. We can make the full ring. Now, the full ring is literally just an infinite source of food. You can see no matter how much I eat this, I don't lose the full ring. It's just unlimited food. It's pretty nice, and it has good saturation, too. Now, the last ring on our list requires 2 P blocks and 2 seasoned tongues. So this is a post-Lenny the Licker item. Hit craft, and you get the Ring of Summoning. And it's literally just a ring that lets you summon Lenny the Licker 5 times. So it's an alternative way to summon a bunch of this boss. Now, one last thing with the boogers is with 1 uranium dust, 7 charcoal, and a booger blob, you can make 7 booger foo. And this is literally just really good furnace fuel. Smelts twice as much items as a lava bucket. And it works really well in a generator. Now, that might seem like all until you realize there's more advancements and a different type of booger. But if we want to find that new type of booger, we're going to need a time machine and we're going to have to power it. And we want to visit the far past first. And here we are, we're in the past. Now grab your pickaxe and explore for a while until you find this next ore. This is young booger ore. And since we're on a younger version of Earth, of course all the boogers here are going to be pretty recent and fresh. You can mine it, and you get a young booger. Now with 9 young boogers, you can make a young booger blob. And then with young booger blobs, unfamiliar metal, netherite scrap, and the original booger ingots, we can make young booger ingots. This is pretty much like the nether gobber equivalent to the booger stuff. And you can take 4 young booger ingots to make a young booger ring. Not to be confused with the gold ring. And now there's 2 rings you can make with the young booger. The first one is made with 4 sponges, and you get the porous ring. And the porous ring is pretty OP in some ways, because it literally just sucks up water that's around you. So you can literally run under oceans like this. It's actually really fun to use. Really good for draining rivers too, if you want to do that. Ocean exploration has never been easier. Who needs a boat? Look at me drop this entire lake in an instant. The next ring is even better though. Make another booger ring, and with an enchanted book and 3 wither skulls, you can make the Ring of the Necropolis. And the Ring of the Necropolis is one of the most useful ones for resource collection, because it kind of acts like the nether sword in Gobber. It instantly kills wither skeletons, and it immediately drops their head 100% of the time. Definitely essential for anyone who wants to get beacons. Now there's one more foo we can make. With 7 foo and immaculate kunk, and our young booger blob, we get young booger foo. And this has even more burn time. It can smelt 800 items. This is honestly insane. But this isn't even the final level. There's another tier to booger. But for that, it's going to require us to go to the future. And now we're back in the future. We're going to ignore the Nexus of Autism this time because we have some other stuff to attend to. Now, if you explore around, you'll see deep embedded in the chromium is old booger. This booger has been left to fossilize after thousands of years of abuse. Now with 9 old booger, you can make an old booger blob. And then with an old booger blob, an immaculate kunk, a chromium oxide, and your young booger, you can make an old booger ingot. And you're going to want to make even more of these because they're pretty good. With 4 old booger ingots, you can make an old booger ring. And there's 2 rings we can make with this. But they have some kind of ridiculous crafting recipes. To start, with Jawbreaker boots, technology boots, kunk boots, and mahogany boots, you make the climbing ring, which, similar to the sped ring, it slowly ticks down durability, but it gives you plus 10 step height. And we're actually going to go to the present to demonstrate this. Now you can see it's pretty easy to walk up hills. Even hills that seem a little steep like this one can be volleyed over. But it gets better than that. Because you see this building right here? We can go up that too. That's right, it's pretty easy to climb entire buildings with this. I mean, it's just awesome. Really good for transportation. It works well with the sped ring, actually. And if you think that's good, the next ring is even better. And with an old booger ring, a warp ring, a dimensional shard, and 2 opium pods, you get the Where Am I ring. And this thing is one of the most fun if you're an explorer. Right click. Oh, let's try that again. Right click. And you get teleported somewhere completely random in a 1 million by 1 million block radius. You can see we're almost 600,000 blocks away from 0, 0. This thing is awesome. And here, let me do it again. We're actually in the same quadrant of the world, but we're a lot closer to spawn compared to where we were. Let's hit it again. We're almost a million blocks out on the Z-axis. Definitely one of the coolest rings in the mod, in my opinion. That's not it for old booger, though. Because with an old booger blob, 7 young booger foo, and an infected human blood, you get 7 old booger foo. And old booger foo is the last evolution, and it can smelt 2,500 items. Absolutely phenomenal and overpowered. Also worth noting that all variants of booger have their own blocks. They're all pretty nice looking in their own ways. You make them with a booger ingot of your choice. I added the weirdest biomes to Minecraft's most unhinged mod. This is kind of like the update that changed the world, but it's more like the update that ruined the world. Starting first, we have the Colorful Mountains biome, based off the Rainbow Mountains from real life. This biome is entirely made out of terracotta. There's green, magenta, yellow, white, and red. Other than that, though, there's like nothing here. No passive mobs, and then there's the regular hostile mobs that spawn during nighttime. Next on the list is the grasslands. The grasslands is a lightly forested biome. with bright green grass and leaves, similar to Minecraft Alpha, as well as deep blue water, also like Minecraft Alpha. Not only that, but this biome has cyan flowers that spawn in it. These are just flowers that are cyan, and of course they can be turned into cyan dye. I know these technically weren't in Minecraft Alpha, but whatever, I like them, okay? Brings back some of that Pocket Edition nostalgia I have. Next on the list is the snowy grasslands. It's very similar to the previous, but it's covered in snow and ice, similar to the snowy worlds from Minecraft Alpha. Also has the cyan flowers, of course. Next on the list is the mushroom biome. No idea why so many cows are spawning. This is actually super annoying and I have no idea why. When the actual update releases, this many cows will not be in the biome. But yeah, you can see the mushroom biome has patches of mushrooms around as well as big mushroom trees. But you can see there's a new type of mushroom here, the blue mushroom, as well as big blue mushrooms. Now if you take 3 blue mushrooms and 1 bowl, you make a yum blend. Now this is blue mushroom stew. If you drink it, you become sweaty, nauseous, and baked. So yeah, I really don't recommend taking this one. Next on the list is the savanna. The savanna is pretty much like the vanilla savanna, but it has a lot of dead bushes. I actually don't remember if those spawn in the regular savanna or not. They probably do, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, it's pretty much exactly like the regular savanna, at least during daytime. During the nighttime, though, you'll notice more difficult enemies are spawning in this biome. For example, you can see mosquitoes, as well as cave spiders, and you might even see some wither skeletons. Pretty dangerous biome to be in, for sure. I wanted to accurately simulate how it feels to live in a savanna biome, because that biome in vanilla Minecraft is so ass. The vanilla savanna is definitely my least favorite biome of all time. Next on the list is the spiky biome. Yes, the entire thing is covered in spike traps, so it's very dangerous to traverse, you know? Nothing spawns here during the day, obviously, but you will get the regular mobs that spawn during the night. I guess if you wanted spike traps, though, this would be a good biome to get them. There's literally no reason to craft these now. This whole biome is kind of a play on what Minecraft did to copper. Like how Minecraft added copper at first, it made it pretty common, but then they decided to make it more common so people could use it for building more. So they made it more common, but then they also made it so trial chambers had a lifetime supply of copper, so why would you even mine copper when you can just find a trial chamber? This whole biome is kind of just a commentary on that. Why craft spike traps when you can go find a biome full of them? Next biome being added in this update is the redwood forest. It's literally just like a regular forest, but it has nice colored foliage, as well as really tall oak trees, so it's actually a pretty good biome to get oak. Other than that, there's like nothing here. I mean, you can get goats. I don't even know if goats appear in redwood forest in real life, but yeah, they spawn in these ones, I guess, so. I don't know, I think it's a cool biome. This just feels like biomes so plenty to me. Next on the list is the sewage biome. The soil here is soaked with feces, and the sky has a distinct yellow mist. This biome is literally ripped straight from a mod I made years ago. In that video, I made a custom biome and tried to survive in it. So I just took that biome and I put it into the mod, because, you know, it's a cool biome. And Wheat Death of the Universe is meant to be every single mod I've made previously combined into this one, plus other stuff. So of course, naturally, this poop biome had to be part of it. I'm also probably going to add more here in the future, but right now it's kind of bare bones. Just like in the video, at night, raider mobs will spawn here like evokers and vindicators. Next on the list is the Evil Plateau. This biome is made out of netherrack and has nether-themed mobs spawning around, as well as nether fortresses. Nether fortresses will actually generate here. Oh crap. There's also nether fossils, of course. Yeah, I just thought putting the nether in the overworld would be kind of cool. So this is a biome that'll spawn now. It's gonna be kind of rare though, it has to be. Also, you can see it's very bare bones in terms of decoration, and I am gonna add more to it. I'm just running out of time. I added house arrest to Minecraft's most unhinged mod. You want to start in an ocean biome, and you want to swim into the ocean floor. If you look carefully, you'll see these patches of gravel with colorful pieces in it. Although if you try digging it, you'll realize it's plastic ore. But if you use a filter on it, you'll get microplastics. Any type of fish will also drop microplastics. And now when you're on dry land, you want 6 iron in a formation like this to get capsules. Now capsules are a receptacle to store any liquid or gas. As you can see, there's capsules for every type, and the acid cell was renamed to the acid capsule. You're going to want to fill these capsules up with water. And then with 8 iron, you want to make a machine block. The machine block is used in every machine from now on. And with a machine block, circuit sandwicher, and obsidian, 2 water capsules, and 4 iron, you make the hydraulic press. And inside the hydraulic press, you want to put in 3 microplastic. And after a while of waiting, you'll get 1 plastic sheet. And now take this plastic sheet and turn it into a plastic bag. Plastic bags can be worn, but I don't advise this. A better use of it is left-clicking the air, and you'll see you're collecting some air in your inventory. And now if you compress the air with a capsule, you get compressed air capsule. Now while you're waiting for more air cells, take an iron grate, some glass, 3 plastic sheets, and 2 iron to make a diving helmet. And then with some iron and plastic, you can make the rest of the suit. Now this is the diving suit, and it makes finding plastic ore even easier, because as long as you have compressed air in your inventory, your air will get replenished, so you don't have to worry about drowning as much when you're underwater. Now for the actual house arrest part of the update. Take 3 plastic, redstone, and iron to make the ankle monitor. Now you definitely do not want this in multiplayer, because once you equip it, you can't take it off. And the way it works is it will randomly spout your location in the public chat. So yeah, easy docs. It does this pretty often too, so don't think you're gonna escape by running away. This thing is pretty much a death sentence on hardcore servers if they're running this mod. Also, apparently you can take off cursive binding items in creative, that's nice. For this next edition, you want to build up all the way into the sky. Because remember these blue clouds that are in the sky that don't really do anything? Yeah, they do a lot of things in this update now. Right-click on these blocks with your capsules, and you'll get nitrogen capsules. And if you craft nitrogen capsules, you'll get the nitrogen back. Now with a bucket and 2 nitrogen in a hydraulic press, you'll get liquid nitrogen. And this is probably one of the most OP additions in the update. Because look what happens when it touches water. And it's not like Frostwalker, this is permanent ice. And it's not limited to just water. Here it is with lava, it hardens it into cobblestone. Here it is with pea, it hardens it into pea crystals. But most interestingly, if it touches blood, it turns into blood ice. Blood ice can only be mined with Silk Touch. And with 9 of them, you can make packed blood ice. And with 9 packed blood ice, you can make red ice. All the ice is going to have uses in new evil machines, but I haven't added those in this update yet. Probably for more later game evil machines. Now for one of the biggest additions in this update. Make a machine block, and with a machine block, furnace, 4 iron, 2 obsidian, and a drill, you make the recycler. Bam. You can put literally whatever item you want in there, and it'll gradually get broken down. Also, this is what it looks like from the outside. I love that animation. And if you get lucky, you might get some scrap from these items. And now remember, literally any item in the game can be scrapped. Now craft a chest, although not with this recipe because it's disabled. With an iron nugget and 7 wood, you can make a chest. And with a chest and 5 planks, you can make the scrap box. Yes, this is very heavily inspired by the industrial craft recycling. Although it is a little different, because if you open up the scrap box and you put at least 8 scrap inside, and you left click, you'll get a random item. And it can't be any item in the entire game, but there's a really large pool of items it can pick from. And you can see booger, grass block, feathers, catheter, sand, pickaxe, rails, poop. There's a lot of options here. I mean, that was a diamond and a kidney stone. But that's not all, because there's 5 types of scrap, and they can all be gotten by recycling certain groups of items. As you can see, if I were to do metals like iron or copper, and you might get some scrap metal in return. And if I were to salvage the scrap metal, you might get things like iron tools, gold ingots, mine carts. Oh, here I just got some clean conch. There's a scalpel. There's plenty of good stuff. There's an iron door. Is that netherite? Oh, that's tungsten. There's an iron grate. There's bullets. There's neodymium. A whole iron block. I got a few of those. Yeah, if you wanted to gamble, you could make your iron back, maybe. For the next type of scrap, you want to recycle stone blocks. And you'll get this scrap in return. This is chat. And if you salvage scrap chat, you get stone blocks. Like sand, scorched earth, rocks, stone tools. There's a magma block, black stone. There's some salt. So many goodies. There was some iron just now. Gambling in Minecraft, what is there not to love? For the penultimate scrap, you want to recycle organic material, like plants or mob drops. And here it is! Bio scrap. And you can see if we salvage this, we get plant-related items. Honestly, really good for skyblock. Here, evil seeds, dandelion, onion, hemp, wheat. Do it again. Oh, potato. There's some moss. Carrots, vines. Pretty much all the plant life you can get from the plant scrap. I saved the best for last, because the next scrap has uses besides salvaging. And we get it by recycling wood blocks. Crafting tables, doors, anything like that will work if it's made out of wood. This is scrap wood. First, we'll notice that by salvaging it, there's a lot of wood blocks we'll get. In fact, this one's extremely rare. We can get lepidodendron logs from this, and these are extremely difficult to find naturally. You can also get the debug stick, but that one's incredibly rare. Good luck even getting that. We have filters, wooden armor, wood tools, bookshelves, But that's not it, because this scrap wood comes with a bonus use. With 4 scrap wood like this, you get plywood. And this is what plywood looks like. This is an entire new wood type. It's also pretty easy to pull apart, so you can break it with your hands. And of course, plywood has stairs and slabs for only the classiest of homeless encampments. And let's not even forget about the fences and fence gates. But it even has its own door. Very pristine looking. You can't even tell it's made out of wood that nobody wanted. And also, of course, it can be used in any recipe that uses wood, as well as fuel and to make paper in a sawmill. Now, the recycling is useful and all, but believe it or not, it goes one step further. Because we can upgrade our machine blocks with neodymium ingots and complex electronics to get super machine blocks. And now with a super machine block, 2 recyclers, methane capsule, 2 reinforced diamond, and 3 palladium, you get the matter synthesizer. And then with 6 crafting tables, a super machine block, and 2 unfamiliar metal, you get the matter apparatus. And these 2 blocks are extremely powerful. Now first, these blocks are going to require a ton of power, so make a giant solar grid or something, because honestly it requires an obnoxious amount. In fact, I'm going to use the creative only solar panels for this. And now place your matter synthesizer down, and now you can see with all the energy it's making, this progress bar is going up. Obviously it normally does not go this fast, it's just because I'm using the hacking solar panels. But you can see after a certain amount of time we get PP matter. This is where all the energy went, it produced PP matter. Now, obviously, this is a play on UU matter, which is also an industrial craft. So yeah, this is a very industrial craft inspired system. Although you can actually make this go up faster by adding scrap in the bottom slot. That makes the amplifier go up, which makes the progress go up faster for less energy. And different scraps have different amplifiers. I'm pretty sure scrap metal is the best. Then like plant scrap is the worst, I think. So yeah, go wild experimenting with this kind of thing. But now the next side of the coin, the matter apparatus. And now this is a pretty crazy looking crafting table. You can ignore this enable part, that doesn't do anything. In fact, I need to remove that. And now pretty much with the PP matter, you can put it into any pattern you want and you might get a certain result. It could be grass blocks, it could be iron ingots, it could be gunpowder. Various random things, usually nature focused, that you can get out of the PP matter. Because look at the name, polymorphic purpose matter. Pretty much that means this matter has many purposes. And to get at those purposes, you have to morph this into different shapes. Now notice this bottom part. Data mining is for people who die young. I'm warning you against the dangers of data mining. Because I don't want you to spoil this for yourselves, you know? Which is why the only recipe I'm going to show you guys is with 2 PP matter like this, you get 12 saplings. Yeah, really excited to see what people do with this as well. This whole recycling system, honestly, is the main focus of the update, I'll be honest. The house arrest thing I added yesterday is just a funny thing. I added Somali pirates to Minecraft. You want to start off by mining some gold, and some diamond and emerald, and you can compress a stack of evil dust to get 1 evil stone. And now with 1 chest, 5 gold ingots, a diamond, an emerald, and an evil stone, you make the treasure trove. Hold on to this, because this is what we use to summon the Somali pirates. And now we want to find an ocean biome. You can use a biome finder for that. This is what an ocean biome looks like, by the way. And there is a new structure you'll find in the ocean biome now. The pirate ship, and you can see there's some Somali pirates up there. The Somali pirates are really dangerous. They rapid fire shots at you that do a ton of damage and knockback. Luckily though, since these are the easiest pirates, they die pretty easily. They also have quite a bit of knockback, I don't know if I mentioned that. A chunk eruptor is definitely recommended for taking these guys out. You can see they drop AK-47s, money, and gold nuggets, among other things. And there's another type of pirate inside here. This is the pirate conscript, who does really fast and high damaging melee attacks. Now we can pretty much start the event whenever we want. There is quite a bit of gear I recommend. Like beetle armor, for example, has a ton of defense. And of course there's a ton of guns you could bring. Like I'll bring the chunk shooter and the eruptor. You should also make sure you bring food. Put the armor on and we're pretty much ready. Now the reason we wanted an ocean biome is because you can see if I place the treasure trove down, the event doesn't start. That's because it only triggers inside of an ocean biome. You can see now that I'm in the ocean biome, it'll actually start. The Somali pirates are invading. You can see a new enemy over there, the pirate captain. The pirate captain shoots extremely fast. Like blistering speeds, as you can see, and they do a ton of damage. He also has the most health out of any pirate, although he's pretty easy to take down with a chunk eruptor. Didn't seem to drop anything good, unfortunately. You can see there's pirate gunners over here. Now there's quite a few unique and pretty useful items you can get from this event. We'll touch on those as we get them. That pirate gunner just dropped an AK-47 and money. There's another pirate captain over there. The pirate captain drops the most good stuff, mostly because he's the most difficult and rarest out of all the enemies. Yeah, if you can get lucky and find an area that's close to the shore, you won't have to fight the event in water. Also, we just found our first important item, the steel shovel. Now, the steel shovel is part of a family of tools you can acquire only from this event. And all those tools have innate fortune or looting that's higher than their normal levels. Like you can see, this shovel has fortune 7. Obviously, on a shovel, it's not very overpowered. But if you have looting 7 or fortune 7 on a pickaxe, it's extremely insane. Definitely makes resource collection easier. The pirate conscripts can drop the sword, and all the other enemies can drop various tools. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Good thing I play fair. They don't stand a chance against my cheating ways. Here's another conscript. The conscripts are actually pretty easy to kill if they're in the water. Oh, they did shoot me out of my boat, though. Oh, I see the pickaxe over there. This is one of the most overpowered parts of this update. The plunder pickaxe. A pickaxe with fortune 7. We'll look at these tools in more detail after we complete the event, which will be around as long as the treasure trove is up, so I'm just gonna stay in combat until I get everything I need. I see over there the last enemy that we need. These guys drop a unique item that isn't one of the tools. The pirate swabby. These guys sail around in motorboats, and you can see if you get lucky, they might drop the motorboat. And by lucky, it's a 50-50 chance, so you'll often get one. The motorboat is a rideable mount that works in water, although unfortunately it doesn't work very well in water because I haven't figured out how to make it work yet. If anyone knows how to make actual boat physics in Minecraft with mcreator, please let me know in the comments, because I'd like to make this like a really fast boat, but obviously I didn't get it to work. It works better on land than it does on water. I guess make sure you abuse this while it's in the game. That's all I can really say. Alright, I want it back. And it didn't drop. I forgot to make it drop. Wow. Obviously all these bugs will be patched when I release the update. But yeah, that's really all we have to see from the actual event. I should definitely make it so these guys can see you from farther away. That'll also be another change that I add. But yeah, let's turn off the event by getting rid of the treasure trove. Now let's look at all the tools dropped from the pirates. The swindling sword. The swindling sword has looting 7. So pretty much anything you kill with it will drop ridiculous amounts of loot. Let's try it on some pigs. Oh, 4. I just got a lot at once. That pig dropped like 8 chops. Yeah, it's definitely a noticeable difference from looting 3. Probably because it's over double as much. Next is the plunder pickaxe, as well as the steel shovel, the appropriation axe, and the hijacker hoe. All these tools do the same thing, and they all just have fortune 7. So I don't know, I'll just break some diamonds. Oh, 6 and 1. And I just got 7 from that one. Pretty good, they all just have fortune. Really high fortune. There we go, I have over a stack of diamonds just from what I mined right here. Goes without saying these tools are pretty good. Now, it's only fitting that the Somali pirates have a golden AK-47. The burglary blaster. It just has looting 7. But it also has another ability. Every time you shoot, you have a chance to spawn in golden nuggets. So yeah, you're pretty much just converting these items into gold. Not crazy, but it is a little extra bonus.